down with a tight, dramatic narrative. Matt Korobov of Russia is the long-awaited, carefully nurtured heir apparent. But Jose Uzcategui from Venezuela has fought his whole professional career in Tijuana. He is the dangerous stranger. Why? Let's look at the tail of the tape, and you'll see some of the reasons why some ringsiders are picking Uzcategui to score the upset. He's got an 8-year age advantage over Korobov. He's got a 3-inch height advantage over Korobov. He's got a 2.5-inch arm length advantage over Korobov. And tonight, unofficially, he'll outweigh Korobov just slightly in the ring. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the CenturyLink Center here in Omaha, Nebraska, USA, where tonight Mr. Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated are proud to present world-class boxing for your entertainment. Sponsored by Tecate con Carácter, PlayStation 4, greatness awaits. Sanctioned by the Nebraska State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges at ringside for this first contest will be Levi Martinez, Dennis Nelson, and Jeff Sinnett. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Mark Nelson. And now, on the line, the vacant WBO Intercontinental Championship, 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, gold, and blue, officially weighing in at 160 pounds. His professional record, a perfect one. 22 fights, 22 victories, including 18 knockouts from El Vieja, Venezuela, y Tijuana, Mexico, the current WBO Latino champion, the undefeated Jose Bolivita Uzcategui. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver with black, official weight 160 pounds. This 4-time amateur gold medalist now has a perfect professional record consisting of 23 fights, 23 victories, including 13 knockouts from Ototokan, Russia, and Latanya, Florida, the undefeated Matt Korobov.
Good evening, gentlemen. You've already received your instructions in the dressing room. You both know exactly what I expect. Please give me a good, clean championship fight and obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Joined at ringside now by Max Kellerman and Roy Jones.
It's a really interesting matchup between 2 prospects where either we have a coming out party finally for Korobov, who looked so good at the beginning of his pro career and then kind of stalled, or we have a new star in Uzcategui. The winner of this fight is getting a shot at the top of the middleweight division.
Uzcategui comes somewhat out of nowhere, but if you had seen his demeanor at the weigh-in and in his meeting with us yesterday, you would have thought that he was a heavy favorite in the fight. Tremendous relaxation and comfort with the event, Roy.
Yes, he's very relaxed and very comfortable with this event. He has a very tough task in front of him, but he said that he saw Korobov in several amateur national tournaments or world tournaments, so he knew exactly what he was up against coming in.
Korobov's amateur record was extraordinary. He's a 2-time amateur world champion. Uzcategui had also an amazing numerical amateur record, 318 wins, 9 losses, but he acknowledges those 9 losses took place whenever he got to the upper level of international competition, so he did not succeed at that level the way Korobov did.
And usually, the guys who succeed at the highest level in the amateurs have a better shot to succeed at the highest level in the pros. And the guys who kind of got stopped once they took that next step in the amateurs generally don't fare well in these kind of matchups. But Uzcategui is a tall, as you can see, rangy guy. He can box, he can punch, he's not afraid to mix it up.
And right now he's in a conventional stance, but he switches freely from stance to stance, and 18 knockouts in 22 fights. He has knocked opponents out both from the conventional and from the southpaw stance.
Yeah, wouldn't be too smart to switch southpaw now because you're facing a world champion amateur southpaw, and it's not likely that you're going to be a better southpaw fighter than him.
So you like the idea of sticking with the conventional stance for most of the way, probably?
Yes, I do. I think he should stick to this stance for most of the way because he's a right-handed fighter and he's fighting a left-handed fighter. So you stick with what you do best and let him do what he does best. Now, he did say as an amateur, Jose that is, said that as an amateur, the southpaw stance worked better for him because he had a big left hand. But in this case tonight, I can promise you his left hand would not be as big as Korobov's left hand.
See Korobov probing, seeing Uzcategui's reaction to his feints.
Pretty busy first round. Both guys have been letting the leather go.
Korobov is a very good puncher. Like
oh,
that right
hard
there.
left hand. Good shot by Korobov.
You saw that left hand coming. He set it up about 35 seconds ago with the feints, and Uzcategui did not move when he feinted it with the left hand, so you knew that shot was going to land soon.
Sit. No. Everything's okay.
Okay. Una pequeña cosa.
All right, one thing.
Tienes que ponerte más vivo.
Small thing.
Acuérdate lo que te
You
damos,
gotta
sí.
be aware.
Ya vea
Look
bien,
alive.
mueve
Yes.
tus piernas y
Jab,
cabecea,
move your
y
head,
muévete.
move your head.
Él ya cambió allí.
He countered you there. You know, that's gotta be the opposite. You gotta counter him. Okay.
Ya manejó allí. Sigue tirando ya y
You got your rhythm now. Let's go ahead and have some fun. The defense is good, but let's go out the right door sometime too, okay? Get it back. Get it back. How you feel, baby?
Here you see Korobov land a beautiful straight left hand right down the pipe. May have put a cut over the left eye of Uzcategui. I think he feinted that shot first. Then he finally realized that Uzcategui wasn't going to move, and he threw it and landed it precisely.
Whether it was that punch or some other circumstance, something put a cut over the left eye of Jose Uzcategui. And round one seemed to belong to Korobov as he landed 8 out of 54 punches to only 3 of 27 by CompuBox count for Uzcategui. And all 8 Korobov connects were power shots. That one left hand was probably good enough under any circumstances to make him the winner of the round.
And Roy, you said straight left hand. Straight was the operative word there. I mean, that was right down the pike. Not telegraphed, straight as an arrow.
And it was funny because I saw him feinting it, but I didn't get a chance to get it out before he landed the punch. He's almost quicker than my thought train. And just looking at Korobov, you gotta just imagine. He lost to Triple G as an amateur on points, but as a professional, he looks so comfortable in there right now. If he can sustain this over a 12-round period, he and Triple G would be one hell of a matchup.
A possible matchup down the road in the middleweight division, assuming Korobov can get past Uzcategui tonight. Although, what Korobov's manager, Cameron Duncan, would most like to do, if possible, would be to steer him toward a title shot against another middleweight title holder, Peter Quillen. That may be challenging because of political divisions in the sport. Nobody rushes toward Gennady Gennadievich Golovkin.
And with good reason.
But as you pointed out, they did face each other in the amateurs. Golovkin won a 19-10 decision over Korobov in their one meeting. And Korobov was the favorite to win the Olympic gold medal at the Olympics in Beijing in 2008 and lost in the first round.
Korobov says he wants to regain or avenge that loss to Triple G, so he's one guy that does have Triple G in his radar, unlike most of the middleweights that we come across.
Uzcategui's cut is opened up and trickling down onto his face. It looks like into his eye. It's on the, looks like it's on the inside, not the outside of his brow.
Good left hand.
Korobov again. He's been landing with his power shots. Uzcategui, perhaps a little free and loose-armed, giving Korobov the chance to land those shots. And you can see the blood on the left side of Uzcategui's face as we come toward the end of round 2. Combination for Uzcategui. And Korobov got in one more good right hook inside as the round came to a close. July 12th, don't miss Road to Golovkin-Giel, which looks ahead to the upcoming showdown between Gennady Golovkin and Daniel Giel of Australia. 2 weeks later on July 26th, it's the live fight between Golovkin and Giel, with Golovkin's middleweight title belt at stake. Also that night, Bryant Jennings of the United States and Mike Perez, a Cuban defector now living in Ireland, face off in a battle of undefeated heavyweights.
You gotta fake them and then see what you can do and then work it. Work the jab, and then cross it over. All right, how are you feeling? Good. How are you doing? So don't let the rounds go by. Let's work it.
Show him the right hook and then surprise him with the left. He thinks the left is coming now, you know? Good job, baby.
So we're 2 rounds into a fight that's scheduled for 10 rounds. Steve Weisfeld, our unofficial ringside scorer and rules expert. How'd you see the first 2 rounds?
Jim, I have it 20-18 for Korobov. Big left hand by Korobov to win the first round. He's landed the harder shots and more of them. No judge's dilemma here. He seems technically better also, and he started to go to the body. So after 2 rounds, I have Korobov up by 2 points.
I think, at least for the first 2 rounds, you would have to say that Korobov, with the greater level of experience and whose professional career has taken place here in the USA, is exposing Uzcategui.
Of course. The thing I like that Korobov is doing is he jabs and he gives head feints like that right there. When you head feint a guy like that, if the guy ever doesn't react to that head feint, you got him hit. And that's what Korobov is doing a great job of. He feints him, makes him freeze, which means he doesn't move from the feint. Then Korobov smacks him with that straight left hand.
Korobov looks pretty good so far, considering he's in with a young, hungry, undefeated guy with size and punching power and some skills. But, you know, early in Korobov's career, he looked like he was going to develop into an attraction, be the kind of fighter with the kind of skill and style where he could develop into an attraction. And while he's fighting very competently, you might even say expertly, he's not fighting, considering he's largely unknown still to the general public, like a guy who's going to develop into an attraction, and that's what made him so interesting early in his career.
Well, he's one of those guys, Max, that will have to be forced to be turned into an attraction, meaning that he's going to look better when guys put more pressure on him. If you look at him, he's pretty much a counterpuncher who is not looking to take initiative right away. He feels more comfortable when the opponent comes after him. He really doesn't want to be the one to punch first.
That's a good point, especially with second-tier fighters. He's also hits sharply enough and is skilled enough to keep them off and keep them honest, and that will slow down the pace of the fight.
That's
and
exactly
one of the patterns that has presented the reason why Korobov has waited 23 fights to get to this stage of his career and appear on HBO for the first time is that he has had a habit of tiring in the middle of fights, sometimes tiring inexplicably in the middle of rounds, and by the way, he has not been as efficient here in round 3 as he was in the first 2 rounds.
And it looks like he's breathing with his mouth open, right?
And maybe Uzcategui knows that. But pretty much like he said yesterday in the fighter meeting, this is a psychological thing that some guys need psychological help to deal with.
What, that tiring in the middle of fights thing?
Yes, it's a psychological thing that you have to mentally learn to overcome.
Big one. Dig to the body. You got to dig to the body, baby. Breathe, get it back.
After a series of trainers, some of whom had big names, Korobov has settled in with this man, Charles Mooney.
Body, right? Get it back. You got to double the jab and then dig to his body, okay?
That's it. Okay, now you've got a pressure. Now you've got a pressure and throw when you have the chance of your combinations.
Here you see Korobov learned a good left hand on the chin that didn't bother Uzcategui, and then he came back and followed it with a beautiful right hook, but it's more like a chopping right hook that didn't have a lot of leverage or pull on it.
Had more effect on Uzcategui than the straight left hand did.
Yeah, it did.
And you can see that Steve Weisfeld has given all 3 rounds to Matt Korobov in the early going year of what is Korobov's coming out party on HBO after a long wait.
Yeah, by Korobov's 4th pro fight, you figured he was going to be one of these phenoms who could start dominating a division within 10 or 12 fights, and it didn't work out that way. But you could see he has real skill. No one thing jumps out at you. He's not blazing fast or an incredible puncher, just a consummate boxer.
Well, the one thing that does jump out at me, Max, is he does remind me a little bit of Guillermo Rigondeaux. He's not the best offensive fighter, but he's so good technically that he makes it ugly for the other guy.
Yeah, Rigondeaux with a little more speed for his division.
He did undergo one massive personal trial in 1998 when Russia collapsed economically. His father, a business entrepreneur back in his hometown of Uriquatan, far eastern border of Russia, lost all his money, went to the bank to try to pull it out and was told, no, it's gone. The government took it. His parents wound up immigrating here to the United States at a time when Korobov was enlisted in the Russian army and could not leave. Ultimately, he went 10 full years without seeing his family before being reunited here in the United States, and they now travel with him and live near him in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Korobov has a very interesting story.
Including 2 wins against Kovalev and 1 loss to Kovalev as an amateur. So you know he had to be pretty good and pretty highly respected as an amateur fighter.
We asked him yesterday if it was troubling to him that guys like Golovkin and Kovalev, who were his contemporaries at amateurs, had moved past him and succeeded much more rapidly as professionals. And he said, no. He said, that's not a problem for me. I'm happy for them. I wish them luck. I celebrate what they've done. I hope to run into Golovkin somewhere down the road.
And you know, Jose Uzcategui's corner told him, now it's time to put pressure on him. You can tell that they did their homework about Korobov, and they're trying to wait him out, let him get to that point to where he starts to show fatigue, and then they want the kid to attack him.
Uzcategui does something I like, where he throws out that little rangefinder left hand, Roy, that's not meant to hurt you, just to tap you, just to put his hands in your face, get the range.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
Requires very little energy from him, keeps him in the fight.
Here's the local hero, the reason that we're here. Terrence Crawford defending his lightweight title tonight, won it from Ricky Burns in March, and that smile is not fake. He is an enormously confident personality. And here is Yuriorkis Gamboa. You've been watching him for years if you're a fan of the sport. And he says, don't worry about me. I'm still Yuriorkis Gamboa. I still have that explosive power and that amazing speed. We'll see.
About it. I prefer him to be trying to slip your left hand. So double that jab when he comes. You can punch at him when he comes. You don't have to be running backwards. Punch at him when he comes, okay? Here we go, gentlemen. Get him moving backwards.
In round 4, for the first time, Uzcategui outlanded Korobov. And Korobov's output has been dropping with each round. He threw 54 punches in round 1. 46 in round 2, 45 in round 3, 36 in round 4. Again, there has been a pattern of mid-fight fatigue for Matt Korobov.
And for him, Korobov that is, he probably better try to hurt Uzcategui this round to slow him down or slow the momentum, or he might find himself in a pretty tough fight to win here. Because this kid is getting confident with every round, getting more confident with every round.
Despite the bleeding over his left eye.
I like that little left hand that Uzcategui throws out. It just lets Korobov know I can touch you.
Cutman in Uzcategui's corner, Daniel Olmos, seems to have done a very effective job of closing the cut over his left eye.
A very good job of it. And to me, I understand that Uzcategui is trying to defend himself, but he shouldn't be that close to Korobov.
You start to hear it from the fans.
Good shot.
It's been a pretty good fight so far. Not action-packed, but there's something flat about it. You know, you say, well, they're throwing some shots, they're displaying some skill. There's been something flat about Korobov, Jim. That's what I meant earlier when I said fight like an attraction.
Korobov coming out of the clinch there. Good right hook by Korobov. Coming back to life in the middle of the 5th round as Uzcategui makes a couple of technical mistakes to help Korobov out.
Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes, gave away some big shots, and like I said, Korobov needed to hurt him to slow the momentum down, and I think he did that just then.
Yeah, he needed to do something in this round, and I think he's done it.
Uzcategui has landed nothing big in the fight, and that's really his game, is to get you with a shot that you don't see coming and hurt you. That he has not yet been close to doing.
If he keeps landing that right hand right there on Korobov, and Korobov's cut too.
Cut over the, it looks like a bad spot for a cut over the right eye.
If Uzcategui keeps landing that pity-pat right hand on Korobov, that's not going to be good because he's going to set him up with a harder shot that could cause problems.
And now it appears the referee is going to ask the doctor to take a look.
Headbutt.
And he says it's a product of an accidental headbutt.
You good?
They were grappling with each other inside. Referee Mark Nelson making clear to everyone at ringside that the blood on Korobov is from an accidental headbutt.
That right hand right there, Jim, if he can keep landing that pity-pat right hand, he's bound to land something hard off of it soon.
Watch your heads.
Even that pity-pat right hand, I think, is a result of those little pity-pat left hands. Found the range.
I don't think Pity Pats will beat Korobov tonight. He's got to land something big sooner or later.
Well, I meant the Pity Pat would give him the opportunity to land something big.
I get that. And there's the effort to land something big, and he grazed Korobov with a left hook.
Like that.
And now catches him with a right hand. And Uzcategui has come to life at the end of round 5. Immediately following the conclusion of tonight's main event, Real Sports comes your way with an inside look at a global soccer match fixing network. Bryant Gumbel's team traveled 6 continents and tracked down players who admitted throwing game, as well as some of the masterminds behind it all.
Relax, breathe, get it back. Relax, get it back. Going up the track. Got it back? Got it back, champ? All right, listen to me. Okay. All right. Gotta relax for me, okay? You gotta continue to bring that jab. Don't make it an inside fight. If you're gonna be inside, you gotta...
Back up.
This is a long minute between rounds. Punches in round 5. Korobov 14 out of 39. Uzcategui 12 out of 39. Korobov with a 13-10 power advantage in that round. Judges may, however, remember those last 2 shots that Uzcategui landed at the end of the round. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it?
Jim, I have it 48-47. Korobov, the strategy seems simple. Korobov is winning when he's moving forward. He hasn't been doing that in the 4th round, and he didn't do that in the last minute of the 5th round. 5th round was close. I thought he lost it because of what happened at the end, as you said. So at the end of 5 rounds, I have Korobov up by 1 point.
In other words, Uzcategui gave up ground at the beginning of the fight, and now, at least according to Steve Weisfeld, is creeping back into it.
Yeah, he was creeping back into it until the beginning of this round. Korobov just landed a great right hook to the body that hurt. Uzcategui pretty bad. It slowed his punch output, and now he has to regain his consciousness to the body before he can come back and throw more punches. That's why he's sitting at a standstill right now. That right body shot did damage.
Fascinatingly, referee Mark Nelson was quite explicit in the middle of round 5, making sure everyone would know that he had seen the cut on Korobov's eye to have been caused by an accidental headbutt. Our tape editors and associate directors have spent the whole time since trying to find the accidental headbutt, and they can't find it. They believe that the punch caused the cut.
I had a chance to see some replays in between rounds. There was a moment where it looked like a butt could have caused a cut, but it didn't. At a different point in the round, a right hand from Uzcategui clearly caused the cut. There was a slight delay before the blood started flowing, however.
And he's landed that pity-pat right hand again. Oh, that was a good right hand on Korobov right there.
You mean the body shot by Uzcategui?
Yeah, Uzcategui just landed 2 good headshots.
Yep.
Like that right there.
And there's another right hand from Uzcategui.
And Korobov cannot continue to get hit with that same punch, because if a guy can hit you with the same punch repeatedly, then he eventually will be able to put power on that punch and hit you with it.
You know, especially for a technical fighter who's not thrilling the fans emotionally with action fights or incredible speed, you can't come out, set the pace, and then let the other guy into the fight.
He's now thinking about how tired he is, Max, instead of trying to do things to Uzcategui. That's what the problem is. When a guy gets complacent and gets bored with himself, he starts to think about how tired he is. But that was a good left hand. Another good body shot.
After the good body shot that Korobov got in earlier in the round, Uzcategui had a period of great success. Then toward the end of the round, Korobov landed some more shots. Now here's the round 5 replay, and there's the right hand that we believe landed the cut over Korobov's eye. No blood yet.
There
now
it
you
is.
start to see the blood creeping out. And again, we believe that the straight right hand was the reason for the small cut.
Gotcha, baby.
Well, we believe it because that's what happened.
Breathe to get it back.
Gotcha.
Breathe to get it back for me. Come on, slow the breathing down. Slow it down, just like in the pool.
Stay calm.
Stay calm. Get it back.
Get him moving backwards again, man. You hear me? Don't let him come forward. Can't fight going backwards.
Jab, open it.
Jabs, uppercuts, whatever punch you want, but throw him.
Steve Weisfeld made the point when he gave his scores that Korobov doesn't do nearly as well when he backs up. And you heard Charles Mooney just moments ago saying to Korobov, you can't win the fight going backward, you've got to go forward. Punches in round 6, Korobov 9 out of 30, Uzcategui 12 out of 38.
And Uzcategui also has a pretty good chin, Jim.
I got to give Uzcategui a lot of credit in this fight where he looked like he was being subtly outclassed in the first couple rounds. He made adjustments, Roy, I think with those range finders, first the left, then he started touching him with the right, then he started putting some power behind it, didn't get discouraged in spite of the fact that he's been hurt.
Oh, there you go.
Down on a hard right hook upstairs by Matt Korobov.
See if this discourages him.
First time in his career that he's ever been knocked down. He claims never knocked down in 327 amateur fights either. And another perfect right hook by Matt Korobov. 2 extremely professional punches by Korobov have put him in charge in round number 7. Crowd was booing because they wanted to see more action.
Well, they
got it now.
I don't think there's a 3 knockdown rule, so if Uzcategui keeps popping up like that and looking ready to fight, ref may let him go on here.
No 3 knockdown rule in effect.
Good punch on the break by Korobov.
Uzcategui was standing up to those shots a little earlier in the fight, but obviously not in this round. Vicious.
The body shots are what broke him down. That body shot I told you at the beginning of the last round.
Tremendous round for Matt Korobov after his trainer, Charles Mooney, stepped up and challenged him between rounds and told him, go forward and win the fight. He's doing it right now.
Yeah, but the body shots are what really gained him this advantage.
That left hook he landed moments ago to the body was absolutely devastating.
The one he landed the round before this was even more devastating.
The right hand to the body.
Yeah, that was the big shot. But he got to quit going for broke, and he should be right back in this kid's body right now. It's taking him too long to continue his attack. A good fighter like him has to know that you got to keep the pressure on while you got a guy in troubles.
And he's leaving Uzcategui almost a minute to try to get back into the round and regain some confidence.
And he
Good
can't
body shot by Uzcategui.
He can't do that because against a top-notch fighter, this will cause him all types of problems.
And for a fight that the crowd has booed once or twice, this is really interesting. Shifts in momentum back and forth.
Well, you got to also understand why the crowd is booing. They didn't come here to see this. They came here to see Terrence Crawford. They could care less what really happens here.
So you got to show
them. A large percentage of them are probably at their first night of professional prize fighting at this level, and maybe they wanted to see every fight be Hagler-Hearns.
Well, they can't even spell these two guys' last names, so they really aren't concerned about two guys that they're not going to remember tomorrow. They want to see Terrence Crawford.
Tremendous point.
Set. Keep your head up. Bolly, how are you feeling? Good. Well, okay. Hold on. You gotta throw punches now, dude. Throw the jab. Set yourself and don't clinch. Throw punches to the body or up top.
Get it back. Slow it down. Slow it down, champ. Slow it down for me. Slow it down. Breathe. Get it back. Come on.
You see Korobov with a good right hook over the top. Almost like an overhand left, the way the glove is shaped or turned. But it was a good right hook, and that sent Uzcategui down for the first time. And that was a great body shot while he was on the way down to take that on down. And secondly, he comes with a left hand followed by another right hook from the southpaw position, which that really was an overhand left, and he knocked him down again.
Let's go, guys, moving along. Time in, here we go.
Power punches in round 7, it was all Korobov. 18 out of 30, 60%. Uzcategui got in 6 late shots, but nothing to compare with what Korobov delivered on the route to the 2 knockdowns that you saw. So now, Matt Korobov thoroughly in charge on the scorecards. 3 rounds to go, up 5 points on Steve Weisfeld's unofficial card.
Box out, get your hands free.
That last round really helped him out a lot.
Uzcategui needs a desperation knockout comeback.
We said in the 5th round, Korobov had to come up with something, and he hurt Uzcategui, and I felt that in that last round, he needed something again. Not just to win the fight, but to keep people interested in his career, and he did it.
He showed his class, and now Uzcategui laces him with 3 hard shots, looking for that desperation knockout comeback. As soon as I said it, I'm thinking somewhere in his heart, he believes it's going to happen.
He's just not following it up enough, though, Jim. He got to follow up even more now because he's in a more desperate situation. The punches he's throwing right now are not really desperation-type punches.
Comes from a tiny town in the mountains of Venezuela, El Vigía. Left there on his own, went to Tijuana by himself, looking to begin his professional boxing career. 22-0, 18 knockouts in Tijuana. Stepping way up in class tonight against Matt Korobov, and it has shown the difference in amateur background, the difference in professional background.
Oh, good shot. See how that combination was set up by that right hand tap, Jim? That's what I was talking about earlier. That's how you set up a guy off of a straight tap punch.
How about the confidence of Jose Uzcategui, coming back from the 2 knockdowns in the last round and taking charge of round number 8.
And even though Korobov, as a southpaw, has to be used to sometimes getting that right-hand lead thrown at him, that right-left-right combination, Roy, looked like it took him by surprise.
Well, he's used to it, but he's not used to it from a guy 6 foot 2 inches tall. So he sometimes thinks he's out of range, and he's not, because Uzcategui is very long, like that right there.
Bottom line, I'm not really sure he has the power to get it done.
I don't think he does either, but...
He's got the heart, but not the power.
I'm done making assumptions about this fight. Things have changed several times.
Oh, good body shots by Korobov. See how he pulled that elbow back then? That right elbow? Korobov is hurting him with those body shots. Trust me. That's where the experience factor is coming out, Jim.
And what that does is to make Uzcategi's hands stay at home.
And go on the defensive.
Break! Break, step back. Here's the bell.
8 rounds. 2 more to go.
You're on the body, man. You win into the body. But you got to throw at the body. Concentrate on breathing, Matty. Get your breathing back. Get your breathing back. Get it back. Slow it down. Slow it down again. Got it. You do breathe. I got the water. You breathe. Get it back. Breathe and get it back.
El push. El vato está esperando abajo.
Watch the body, attack the body, all right? Okay, but go it now.
He see Uzcategui land a right hook first, which is the favorite punch for against the southpaw. But after he lands the right hook, he comes back and changes it up. Since he already landed the right hook, goes straight right down the middle, followed by a left jab and another right hand straight down the middle. Those were 3 good right hands landed in that round for Uzcategui.
Well, Uzcategui showed his heart for sure after going down twice in the 7th. He had his biggest round of the fight in the 8th. Steve Weisfeld, how do you have it with 2 to go?
Jim, I have it 77-73 Korobov. The 6th round could turn out to be the swing round in the fight. I gave it to Korobov because, as Roy said, of the great body shot at the beginning of the round, and he also finished it strong. 7th round, easy to score, 2 knockdowns, 10-7. 10-9 to Uzcategui in the 8th round. So after 8 rounds, I have Korobov up by 4 points.
9th round of a scheduled 10. By all logic, Uzcategui needs a knockout at this point to win. Korobov is the man who looks most capable of delivering a knockout. His punches have hurt Uzcategui far more frequently than the opposite.
And what's really doing the damage for Korobov is that left hand to the body after Uzcategui throws the right hand and misses. Like that right there. Those shots are killing Uzcategui. That body shot hurt him bad right there.
And I'm not sure why Mark Nelson is saying it isn't a knockdown.
It should have been.
It looked to me like Uzcategui voluntarily took a knee as the result of the body shot.
Give me a good clean round.
I agree with you, Jim.
Maybe he feels like Korobov pushed him down, but we've seen that from punchers many times.
It was a body shot that Uzcategui was not ready for, too.
In fact, I think at the end of the day, you'd have to say that Korobov's body work and poise have been the biggest differences in the fight.
Yeah, and Charles Mooney has done a good job with him, getting him from rounds 3 to round 9 or 10, however many it goes. But I like what I see in the improvement. Just has to be a little bit more busy mentally to help keep his focus and keep him focused during the fight.
Mooney produced urgency at exactly the right moment when Korobov needed to hear it.
Get out of there, guys. Hands free. Get your hands free. Box out of there. Break! Time. Time. Over here. Get the tape. Just, can you cut it? Can you cut it? All right. Stay there.
This hurts Uzcategui because his only chance to win is to try to tire Korobov out, and Korobov keeps getting breaks, and that's not good for Uzcategui, who went southpaw for a minute.
Keep your head up.
Oh, good right hand.
Now turns back to the conventional stance and clocks Korobov with a good straight right hand. 15 seconds to go in the next to last round.
Get your hands free.
Time running out for Uzcategui to pull the miracle knockout he would need to come back and win the fight.
Break! No, 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 stop, stop. Hey, listen to me.
Fine. You gotta pay attention to him, okay? But don't move now. Don't move, don't move. Jose, you've got to throw punches.
He's leaning forward, so you can throw a right left hook up to his chin. Either hand to his chin.
Up the middle, around the side. Up the middle, around the side. Game
all right? I want you to get on the other side of that lead foot for me, okay? All right, Matty? Get it back.
Last round, touch gloves, okay?
Korobov well ahead in CombiBox numbers entering the last round. He's landed 100 shots by CombiBox count, including a 90-53 edge in power punches.
Punch him up. Thank you.
So former Russian amateur sensation Matt Korobov steps into the spotlight on HBO for the first time in his professional career after a 23-fight apprenticeship, unbeaten with 13 KOs, was regarded as being in pretty tough tonight against a guy with physical talent out of Tijuana, originally from Venezuela, and Korobov has handled the challenge so far.
Oh, he's in tough. Uzcategui's a tough guy.
Yeah, he sure is, with a lot of heart.
You know, Korobov in those middle rounds, and in some of the fights where, oh, good right hook.
Hard right hook by Korobov.
Where his career started to stagnate, didn't seem like he had the self-view of a star, like he viewed himself as a star fighter. And in this fight, at moments where it looked like he was sort of stalling out again, he started fighting more like a star.
Step back.
Like that's the way he viewed himself. And Uzcategui, clearly the best fighter he's ever fought, has acquitted himself fairly well considering the gap in experience.
But the win should be a big confidence builder for Matt Korobov.
Yeah.
And the loss should be a good confidence builder still for Uzcategui because he did a very good job here tonight. It's not like he came out here and got wiped out or got just dominated. I mean, he did a very good job tonight. He fought very smartly. He just didn't go to the body enough. And truthfully speaking, with his height, I would probably rather see him against Peter Quitter next instead of Korobov.
I'm just not sure that he has enough punching power to pay off his style of fighting.
No, but with his style of fighting, he's one of these Paul Williams type guys who fights more off their heart than they do off of their skills. So he's a tall guy, but he wants to fight close.
Mark Nelson rules that a push also, not a knockdown.
Got a minute left. Let's see if either guy can summon something big here. Korobov to punctuate the night, Uzcategui to save it for him.
And that last a real body shot that I think Korobov landed probably took the last power that Uzcategui had. That was a great body shot right there too. That's where that experience comes in. You see guys with that amateur, deep amateur background know how to go to the body when it's time to go to the body.
International success on the amateur stage.
Yeah.
Uzcategui just doesn't have enough pop at this point in the fight to pull off the miracle comeback knockout he would have needed. Still trying, showing a lot of heart, but you can see how loose-armed he is at this point. And Korobov has weathered the storm and withstood whatever Uzcategui could bring. Getting through the cut over his eye, getting through an apparent loss of stamina at some point in the middle rounds of the fight. Korobov winds up being the boss.
You guys were talking about it. I would say this is a good but not great win for Korobov and a good but not great loss for Uzcategui. It's not bad for them, it's good for them. It's not star-making in either case.
Take a look at the two knockdowns in round 7, Roy Jones, which will ultimately turn out probably to be the biggest difference in the fight.
Yeah, that right hook over the top was something that Uzcategui was not ready for, so he didn't really see it coming, and it did major damage, but this was the most important shot, that body shot. Those were the punches that really started to tear him apart. Right here you see with the left hand, followed by the overhand right, basically from an orthodox position, a punch that I throw a lot, because guys get confused looking for the right hook, and he changed to overhand right instead of a right hook.
Steve Weisfeld, what's your final card?
My final card is 97-91 Korobov. He landed more punches, the harder punches to the head and to the body, plus he had that 10-7 round. So I have Korobov up by 6 points.
Run down the 3 official judges for us.
Levi Martinez is from New Mexico, and he's one of the best judges around. He had Provodnikov ahead of Alvarado by 7 at the time of the stoppage. That was an excellent score, especially in Alvarado's hometown. Denny Nelson was a top referee for 41 years, was recently inducted in the Minnesota Boxing Hall of Fame, and he's also the father of the referee tonight, Mark Nelson. Denny had Provodnikov leading Alvarado by 8, and that was also a fine score. Jeff Sinnott has been a pro judge in Nebraska since 2003. This is clearly one of his biggest fights. I liked his score in DeMarco Sanchez. He had DeMarco the rightful winner, but also gave Sanchez credit for effective aggressiveness.
All right, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official decision on this one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. We do have a decision, and that winner will now get the WBO Intercontinental Middleweight title. Levi Martinez and Jeff Sinnott score it 97-91. Dennis Nelson has it 96-92. All three go to the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Matt Korobov.
Unanimous decision win for Korobov, as we expected. Final CompuBox numbers show Korobov outlands Uzcategui overall by 31 punches, and they land at just about the same connect percentage, a slight advantage there to Korobov as well. Power shots, the real difference in the fight. Uzcategui didn't land enough of them, didn't land hard enough when he did land, and Korobov's 44% connect percentage on power shots, very respectable and more than enough to win this fight tonight. A punch zone look will show us where the punches landed on each fighter. And the real difference, only 10 body shots landing on Korobov, none of them with any great effect. 44 body shots landed by Korobov on Uzcategui, particularly with the right hand to the left side of Uzcategui's body. Korobov quite effective there. Physically dominant, Matt Korobov wins the fight. We're on the western bank of the Missouri River in Omaha, Nebraska, the city that hasn't hosted a championship fight since 1972. A few moments from now, a crowd of about 10,000 here at the CenturyLink Center will cheer on Omaha born and bred Terrence Crawford.